office of the president and the occupier of the office of the president, whoever they may be. Over the years, we have seen our illustrious sons become presidents of this great nation. Today, Goodluck Ebele Jonathan is our president. And because he encourages the freedom of speech, Nigerians can speak freely, no matter their opinion. But let us remember that respect for the office of the president is the civic responsibility of every Nigerian. So, respect our president today, and if tomorrow.
Good to have you join us on NTA Nationwide News. I am Ifeanyi Okafor. The People's Democratic Party, PDP, at its 66th National Executive Committee meeting this Thursday, endorsed President Goodluck Jonathan as the party's sole candidate at the 2015 presidential elections. The decision followed the adoption of President Jonathan by all the various organizations, the PDP Board of Trustees, governors, women and Senate PDP caucus. The president says he is humbled by the decision and promised not to let the people down in the next dispensation. State House correspondent Segun Lawale will bring you details in our next bulletin. Following the reported endorsement of President Jonathan by the PDP Governors Forum, the party's Board of Trustees has also accepted the decision of the governors. This was part of the resolution of the BOT, which met last night at the presidential villa ahead of the party's National Executive Committee NEC meeting. State House correspondent Segun Lawale reports.
Members of the Board of Trustees of the PDP had what they describe as very fruitful deliberations, which lasted for about 3 hours. The meeting, which also had in attendance President Goodluck Jonathan and Vice President Namadi Sambo, among other issues, approved the party convention's timetable. However, the PDP Governors Forum was said to have endorsed President Jonathan for a second term in office, a message conveyed to the BOT by the Governor of Akwa Ibom State and Chairman of the Governors Forum. Professor Jerry Ghana briefed journalists at the end of the BOT meeting. Jigawa State Governor was also said to have endorsed the candidature of President Jonathan.
And the Governor of Akwa Ibom State confirmed to the BOT, because we very much were interested in confirming the position of the Governor of Jigawa State, and he rose and said the Governor of Jigawa phoned him during the meeting and directed the Deputy Governor of Jigawa, who was attending the meeting, to sign the document. In other words, he authorized the Deputy Governor to sign on his behalf, and therefore the answer to your question is that he too endorsed that decision.
For members of the Board of Trustees, it was time to reward the President with a ticket as a result of his commitment, hard work and performance.
We are delighted as a party, both the governors and the BOT, that we've taken this very, very democratic decision, because nobody was forced. Nobody was asked not to do it. And in fact, if anybody were to come up, after these resolutions, we are not going to say get out of the party because of that. We are the People's Democratic Party. But we are delighted that when we have a performing candidate who is doing very, very well, we should certainly give him an opportunity to have a second term. That is fairness. That is good. That is proper. That is the right thing to do.
We believe that the BOT is the conscience of the party. So if the BOT have agreed to endorse Mr. President as candidate of the party, what we're simply saying is that we are persuading every member of the party to accept that position. So we're not going to force any person, but we're making a strong statement. We are persuading our people strongly to accept this position for the reasons earlier mentioned. And so it's also important for us to know that we need to reward hard work. We need to reward their commitment. We need to reward their achievement. We need to reward performance.
With the approval of the new timetable by the Board of Trustees, Professor Jerry Ghana says the presidential race is still open. President Jonathan is yet to respond to the endorsement by the Governors Forum and the Board of Trustees. In the State House, Segun Lawole, NTA News.
We just told you that the People's Democratic Party's Governors Forum endorsed President Goodluck Jonathan as their sole candidate for the 2015 presidential election. The governors took the decision after their meeting, which was held at the Akwa Ibom State Governors Lodge in Abuja. Political correspondent Femi Johnson reports.
The meeting, which was attended by 14 governors, 2 acting governors and 4 deputy governors, deliberated extensively on the candidature of Dr. Goodluck Jonathan. After 3 hours, the chairman of the PDP Governors Forum, Governor Godswill Akpabio, announced the decision, which he noted was not challenged by any of the governors in attendance.
And we all resolve to further support his bid for re-election come 2015. The PDP Governors Forum urges all PDP faithfuls across the country to support this decision and this gesture, which we believe will enable Mr. President to become the sole presidential candidate of our great party come 2015 election.
The forum also deliberated on other national issues and resolved thus.
On the issue of the Ebola outbreak, the forum notes the successes recorded by the Federal Ministry of Health and all the health ministries across Nigeria. The forum further commends Mr. President.
The PDP Governors Forum congratulated Adamawa State Acting Governor Alhaji Umar Fintiri, who emerged victorious at the primaries, and also saluted the decision of Senator Iyolo Mishori and the PDP faithfuls who have chosen to pursue their right through the law courts. Meanwhile, the People's Democratic Party has also fixed dates for its primaries ahead of 2015 elections. 22nd of November has been fixed for the National Assembly primaries, while the 29th of November is for the governorship primaries. The presidential primaries holds on the 6th of December. In Abuja, Femi Johnson, NTA News.
In the meantime, the People's Democratic Party PDP in Anambra State has held a unity rally in Ihiala local government area of the state. The rally, which attracted national and state officers as well as other stakeholders of the party, the organizers say, is a proof that the party now stands as one in Anambra State. Benson Osadebe has details.
Addressing the crowd that gathered to form a united front and formidable force for the ruling People's Democratic Party, PDP, the National Publicity Secretary of the party, Chief Olisa Meto, announced that the issue of factions in the party in Anambra State is now a thing of the past. Chief Meto added that the unity rally became necessary because a house divided against itself cannot stand.
It means that for the first time in the last 12 years, PDP Anambra is completely united. We are united. As I'm here, all the principal actors, all the major stakeholders, they are completely in support of what our chairman, President Emeka, is doing.
Collaborating the words of the National Publicity Secretary, other stalwarts of the party and some new entrants expressed happiness for the unity. They promised to contribute their quota towards moving PDP to a greater height in Anambra State and Nigeria at large.
The president has done so well, and even more so for the southeast.
The party has also proposed a mega rally in Oka, the Anambra State capital.
Benson Osadebe, NTA News.
Still talking politics, the National Association of Nigerian Students has inaugurated the Nigeria Students Transformation Vanguard to support the re-election of President Jonathan if he chooses to run for president in 2015. The Vanguard Group was inaugurated at the 2014 annual convention of the association in Asaba, Delta State. Here's the report.
Delegates to the convention, made up of students from 239 public higher institutions, say they are in support of the president not only for his developmental strides, but more importantly for his commitment for the growth of education. Senior Special Assistant to the President on Youth and Student Matters, Jude Imagwe, assured the students that the federal government is committed to providing 3 million jobs for young Nigerian graduates in the next 12 months. He urged Nigerian youths to key into the transformation agenda of President Jonathan's administration and enjoy the dividends of democracy.
That there is no Muslim Nigeria, there is no Christian Nigeria. There is no northern Nigeria, there is no southern Nigeria. They are rich the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And we are duty bound as citizens of this country to protect our country.
At the end of the convention, Tijani Usman from the Ahmadu Bello University Zaria emerged as the new president of NANS, while Thomas Ochai from the University of Jos emerged as Senate president. Vivian Idekpefo, NTA News.
Now for the latest on BRT buses vandalism and other stories from Lagos End, we now join Lagos Network Center for details. Vera, it's over to you now.
Thank you, Fanny, and a very warm welcome to Lagos. The National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, says it has concluded search and rescue operations on the collapsed building on the Synagogue Church of All Nations. At the end of operations that lasted for more than 6 days, 80 dead bodies were recovered, while 131 others were rescued alive. Details in our subsequent bulletin. The Tribunal of Inquiry set up to investigate the accident between the BRT, popularly known as BRT, and the Nigerian Army had verbal submissions from 2 witnesses in Lagos. Razak Mustafa and Adedapo Adediran described what they saw when some army personnel allegedly vandalized BRT buses following the death of one of their colleagues. Abolere Abara has the details.
In their separate account, BRT staff Razak Mustafa disclosed that on the morning of 4th of July, he saw military personnel angrily appear at the Pangrove axis of Ikorodu Road, the scene of which a military man was hit by a BRT bus. He said the army men allegedly vandalized the state buses at the scene.
Was it the woman also that lit the fire? Somebody started the fire.
On his part, a monitoring officer of the BRT service, Adedapo Adediran, said when he received reports that an army personnel was hit by a BRT bus, he then visited the scene to get first-hand information on what had happened. Having done that, he went to Pedro police station to make a statement on the incident. On his return to the scene, he said he met a group of army personnel allegedly wreaking havoc on the BRT buses and arresting staff of the transport company.
At a point, I was talking to the guy, I was not knowing that a soldier was hanging around my side. So where I was waiting for with Peter, I just had the dirty slap at my back. You, who are you?
The tribunal concluded the day's hearing by requesting for further information and documentations on their submissions. Hearing continues. In Lagos, Abolore Ogbara, NTA News.
Proper utilization of external loans by a developing country like Nigeria would enhance economic development and reduce debt burden on the nation. Experts expressed this view at a research seminar organized by the Nigerian Institute for Social and Economic Research in Ibadan, Oyo State. Oyeyinka Folarame completes the story.
Titled Microeconomic Effect of External Debt Accumulation in Nigeria, the lecture examined the effect of external loan on the Nigerian economy before and after debt relief period by the Paris Club between 1970 and 2012. The lecturer, Mr. Amos Ogunwale of Surveillance and Forecasting Department, NISA, highlighted the impact of external debt on private consumption, private investment, and government investment. He suggested proactiveness on the revenue drive by concerned government agencies and paradigm shift from mono-economic system to cushion the effect of debt burden.
But we must make sure that we make use of that external loan in a productive areas, which will generate additional income for the economy.
Director General, NISA, Professor Olufemi Taiwo suggested adequate debt management and full implementation of economic research findings to reduce poverty. Chairman at the lecture, Professor Ibiajayi and other speakers agreed that external borrowing is inevitable, but emphasized the need for Nigeria to trace the missing link in the system for economic development. In Ibadan, Oyeyinka Folarami, NTA News.
More groups and individuals have continued to declare their support for the People's Democratic Party, PDP, in Ogun State, with a view to forming a formidable front to ensure victory for the party and re-election of President Goodluck Jonathan in 2015. This was the main thrust of a program held at the Goodluck Jonathan Political Center, Ijebu-Igbo, Ogun State. Yemi Delemo has the details.
Prominent among the PDP new members is the special advisor to the Ogun State Governor on Environment and Special Duties, Mrs. Abimbola Lanre-Balogun, who attributed her defection to PDP to undemocratic nature in her former party in Ogun State. She said having resigned her appointment to join a winning party where true democracy is on display, hence her determination to join force with the People's Democratic Party to work for the success of the party at the state and at the federal level come 2015. New members from Ifo, Imekoafon, and Ijebu North East local governments who defected at the instance of a member of the State House of Assembly, Mr. Samson Onodemure, an APC member alongside 10 others, recently also joined the People's Democratic Party. Receiving the new members, State PDP Chairman Adebayo Dayo and the Southwest leader, Bruji Kashamu, said PDP is a family who do not discriminate or be impartial.
As of today, henceforth, she will have equal rights in our party, just like all other members of the party.
Presenting the party's symbol to the new members, the PDP leaders charged them to spread the new development of the party around with a view to bringing others to work for the victory of the party. Earlier, members of the National Association of Technicians Automobiles, NATA, honored the Southwest PDP chieftain Bruji Kashamu as their life patron, the position which was occupied by the late governor for your state, Alhaji Lamidi Adiwodu Adesina. In Ijebu, Yemi Delemo, NTA News.
And that's our contribution from Lagos. It's back to you, Fine, for more on Nationwide News.
Thank you, Vera. The federal government, through the Tertiary Education Trust Fund, has disbursed 135 billion naira to the tiers of education in the public sector. Franka Uzoma Ola reports that the figure represents an average of 45% increment on last year's allocation.
The event is the annual strategic planning meeting for vice-chancellors, provosts and rectors designed to deliberate on the focus and the guidelines for the implementation of the 2014 TED Fund intervention programs. Over the years, allocation to tertiary institutions witnessed significant improvement. For instance, allocations to each university grew from 303 million naira in 2010 to 646 million naira in 2013. Same goes for colleges of education, as allocations rose from 157 million naira in 2010 to 390 million naira in 2013.
The TED Fund intervention is going a very long way in addressing Mr. President's transformation agenda. It is a program from a very patriotic mind.
We hope the benefiting institutions will implement fully the programs in the intervention budget.
In the same vein, TED Fund has also institutionalized research and development operations in most institutions for global best practices.
For a long time, we've had research outputs that lie there unutilized, but if we are able to develop them to products and technology, that is what R&D means.
Meanwhile, the fund is to embark on a 5-year vision that will further deepen academic content, quality and excellence in the nation's institutions of higher learning. In Abuja, Franka Uzoma Olwa, NTA News.
A high-level commitment on improving access to quality healthcare has been formalized between the federal government and Gombe State, hoping to raise professionals in medicine and medical-related disciplines in Gombe State University. To that effect, Minister of Health and Governor of Gombe State signed a memorandum of understanding. Correspondent Usman Aliu reports from Gombe.
High number of patients in hospitals with limited number of health personnel
has been a major challenge of providing good healthcare service. This is what Gombe State and the federal government agreed to resolve by signing of a memorandum of understanding. With the agreement, Federal Teaching Hospital Gombe and the College of Medical Sciences of the Gombe State University will partner in the training of medical students.
Now that the Federal Medical Center has become a teaching hospital, consultants will have to be recruited in all fields of specialization.
We felt that no resource should be wasted, and that since the federal government existed for all Nigerians, there was no reason why those resources could not be shared with Gombe State.
Gombe State government equally acknowledged the support by the federal government through intervention on infrastructural development such as 1.5 billion naira by the Central Bank of Nigeria for the construction of clinical training section at the Federal Teaching Hospital Gombe. The Minister of Health, Professor Onyebuchi Chukwu, commended Gombe State government for living up to expectation.
I know he's doing a lot in the health sector, not only for hospitals, but also public health. He's so much concerned about snake bite in Gombe, not even necessarily from indigenes of Gombe, but from surrounding states.
In Gombe, Usman Aliu, NTA News.
The Niger Delta Youth for Jonathan has appealed to the Nigeria Union of Teachers to return to class on September the 22nd, 2014 to enable students continue with their studies. National coordinator of the group, Ebile Dudu, says teachers have no reason to be afraid as the federal government has taken adequate measures to contain the Ebola virus disease and the insurgency.
The kind of weapon they are using, our soldiers are complaining. So this time, the president believed that he wants to put a final full stop to it. That is why we beg the National Assembly to approve that money on time. Because if that money is approved and the president were able to get us, use that money in, for defense very well, believe me, in less than 3 months, walk around with forgotten issue.
The group also called on youths to support the transformation agenda of government in order to get the benefit of the various empowerment schemes aimed at creating jobs for teeming youth. More people join in the sensitization campaign against the spread of the Ebola virus. Susan in Makurdi has details of this and more as we join her in Makurdi. Hello, Susan.
Hello, Ifeanyi, and welcome to Makurdi. The fight against the dreaded Ebola virus calls for emergency response and proactive actions to contain the spread and curb stigmatization of Ebola victims. This was the consensus of resource persons at a sensitization seminar on Ebola organized by the Department of Psychology, Benue State University, Makurdi. Correspondent Blessing Omeche Ebute was there and filed in this report.
The outbreak of the Ebola virus in some parts of Nigeria has created panic among members of the public. This development informed the decision of relevant stakeholders to take proactive measures in combating further spread of the virus, one of which is the seminar by the Department of Psychology, Benue State University, Makurdi. Head of the department, Professor Josiah Shindi, says the seminar is aimed at sensitizing the university community on the Ebola virus.
There are issues around us, and if we don't properly inform the public will therefore live on rumors, which are not helpful.
Consultant pathologist and head of department histopathology, Benue State University Teaching Hospital, Makurdi, Dr. Joseph Ngbeya, advised people to take precautionary measures as prevention is the best cure for Ebola. Dr. Joseph Kum Hassan of the Psychology Department, who earlier presented a paper on the virus, says the control of infection is a challenge facing the health sector.
Ebola being a re-emerging infectious illness requires a global concerted effort to, first of all, dictate, control, and prevent its subsequent re-emergence.
There was another paper presentation by Dr. Godwin Idoko in Makurdi. Blessing Omeche Ebute, NTA News.
Assorted relief materials worth millions of naira have been donated to affected communities of alleged attacks by herdsmen in Gwe West local government area of Benue State. The gesture is made possible by a member of the House of Representatives representing Gwe West Federal Constituency, Mrs. Christiana Alaga. Elias Itiav completes the report.
The people of Gwe and Gwe West local government areas were not spared in the attacks by suspected herdsmen in the state, which left wanton destruction of lives and property. The development led to the displacement of scores of people without food to eat or basic household items. It is for this reason that the representative of Gwe West at the National Assembly, Mrs. Christiana Alaga, who was accompanied by her husband Nathaniel Alaga, brought succor to the people. She maintained that though the gesture cannot wash away their experiences, it is a demonstration of her love, care and support to her constituents, and called for proper distribution of the items to the affected persons.
The people that are suffering most are the women, the children, and the youth. Please let this material touch those people.
Tate Choshin II, Chief Daniel Abomse, who described Mrs. Alaga as a worthy ambassador of the constituency, said many villages were reduced to ashes, including school structures built by the representative, and challenged the people to support leadership that is responsive to the plight of the people. Other speakers at the event extolled the leadership qualities of the National Assembly member, saying they will stand by her in her future ambitions. Items donated include 95 bags of rice, 95 bags of maize, 95 bags of millet, 190 mats, 285 pieces of blankets, 185 mosquito nets, 90 cartons of milk, 20 cartons of detergents, 150 pieces of wrappers, 285 buckets, utensils, and cartons of soaps. In Makudi, I'm Elias Itiav, NTA News.
The Benue State government is to reactivate the RAV Livestock Investigations and Breeding Center along Taraku-Naka Road through the public-private partnership arrangement. Governor Gabriel Suswan made this known during an inspection visit to the area. Correspondent Achigili Magaji has details.
The livestock farm, which has been abandoned for some years now, can only boast of some of its dilapidated structures and facilities. In a demonstration of the commitment to reactivate the ranch, the governor trekked the over 2-kilometer bush path to the dam, which used to serve the center. He noted that already Mexican investors who have visited the center twice have indicated interest in taking it over on a public-private partnership basis, hence the need for him to visit the farm to have a first-hand knowledge of the situation.
I'm meeting with them, so I wanted to visit this place myself so as to assess it. While negotiating with them, I'll be negotiating from a position of knowledge of the place other than just relying on my lieutenants who might not give me an accurate assessment of what I want to know.
The Commissioner of Agriculture, Mr. Donald Bo, says it is a welcome development. The farm manager, Mr. Tedus Ifa, noted that the commitment of the staff has kept the center alive.
And when I came here, I discovered that these animals are not properly taken care of. So I did everything possible to see that I multiply them.
The center was established by the Northern Nigerian government in 1952. Achigili Magaji, NTA News.
And that's our contribution from Makudi. It's back to Ifani in Abuja for more on NTA Nationwide.
Many thanks, Susan. The Independent National Electoral Commission has assured Nigerians that election will hold in all the 21 local government areas of Adamawa State as the commission is studying the security situation in the state. INEC Resident Electoral Commissioner Kasim Gaidam stated this in an exclusive interview with correspondent Abdullahi Garba Brinikudu.
It is now less than 4 weeks to Adamawa gubernatorial election. The commissioner was at the electoral umpire as part of the preparations for the election. He says more than 10,000 ad hoc staff and more than 24,000 security personnel are to be mobilized for the election, while non-sensitive materials have been received by the commission in Adamawa. The commissioner added fears that the security situation in the state will affect the election in some areas.
The situation is improving and people are going back to their various locations. And in the next 10 days, we are going to do reviews also of the situation and see and determine the next line of action. And therefore, there is no any problem for any peer by God's grace.
He also clarifies on suspicion of distribution of permanent voters' cards in those areas.
And that decision was taken collectively by stakeholders made up of the security agencies and political parties. But now people are going back, and if we assess the situation and see that at least 10 days to election, the situation comes down, we can still go and distribute there. But even if we don't do it, they are going to use their temporary voters card to cast their vote.
The resident electoral commissioner also confirmed to NTA News that as at Wednesday, the 17th of September, 9 political parties have shown interest to participate in the October 11th Adamawa gubernatorial election. From INEC headquarters in Abuja, Abdullahi Garba Brunokudu, NTA News.
And this is NTA News Nationwide. Time to pause for some commercial. Please stay with us.
Excuse me. What people are looking for in Sokoto, we are having Sokoto. Good luck are what every parent and wishes begin. In school, in business, in life. Everybody are look for good luck. Every country are look for good luck. In World Cup tournament, good luck. Or Louisa come back to life, good luck. The schools are now breaking all over to betterment the future of Almajiris. Good luck. Our universities are properly funded. Good luck. My damn brothers of the north, are you see what I'm saying? Agriculture are now walk over. And 33 modern dams are ready for farmers. Good luck. Fertilizers are purchased for almost free of charge. FOC. I am talking of power supply. That power reform and make steady supply of light every daily. Let us thank Chineke God for our good luck. Good luck continue for Nigeria. This message is brought to you courtesy Transformation Ambassadors of Nigeria. Done for One Vision, Nigeria.
Whether your need revolves around business or pleasure while in Abuja, the superb new Savannah Suites with innovative and modern luxury facilities in Area 3 is now providing a unique experience of hospitality in the FCT. It's a haven of peace and tranquility in our superior bedrooms and suites. The Chum Chum concept is still the best in town, dishing out mouth-watering recipes freshly prepared. Our bar is also stocked with your delightful usuals. Exotic venue for your conferences and other engagements. The Gwarinpa Savannah Suites is comfortable, calm and distinct. Visit us today or call 0803-502-1519 or 005-362-9568 for reservations. Savannah Suites, a celebration of luxury and style.
Transform the jangling discords of our nation into a beautiful symphony of brotherhood.
Change is never easy. It was not easy for Dr. Martin Luther King when Prime Minister Lee Kuan Yew transformed Singapore from third world to first world. It was not easy. They stoned him. It was not easy for Nelson Mandela.
I, Barack Hussein Obama.
It was not easy for Barack Obama. Nothing worthwhile ever is. Dr. Martin Luther King did it. Prime Minister Lee Kuan Yew did it. Nelson Mandela did it. Barack Obama did it. Goodluck Jonathan is doing it. He is transforming Nigeria. Mr. President, keep doing it. We who are with you are so many more than those who are against you. A message from protectors of Nigerian posterity.
There is an Ebola virus epidemic in some West African countries. The Nigerian government wants you to be aware and watch out against the spread of Ebola in your community. Help keep our country safe and watch out for severe cases of fever, headaches, diarrhea, chest and abdominal pain, sore throat, cough, red eyes, and bleeding from the eyes, ears, and nose, especially when these symptoms are found in persons coming into Nigeria from other West African countries. Protect yourself, Wash your hands regularly with soap and running water or use a hand sanitizer. Avoid contact with the blood, urine, feces or saliva of animals like bats, monkeys, gorillas, chimpanzees or infected persons. The Ebola virus is deadly. Don't catch it. Don't spread it. This message is brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Information.
Good luck, Jonathan. You are good luck to Nigeria. Good luck, Jonathan. You are good luck to Nigeria. Everywhere you go, you are good luck to the people. Continue your good work. Nigerians support you.
Excuse me. What people are looking for in Sokoto, we are having Sokoto. Good luck are what every parent and wishes begin. In school, in business, in life. Everybody are look for good luck. Every country are look for good luck. In World Cup tournament, good luck. Or Louis are come back to life, good luck. The schools are now bracketed all over to betterment the future of Almajiris. Good luck. Or universities are properly funded. Good luck. My damn brothers of the north, are you see what I'm saying? Agriculture are now walk over. And 33 modern dams are ready for farmers. Good luck. Fertilizers are purchased for almost free of charge. FOC. I am talking of power supply. That power reform are make steady supply of light every daily. Let us thank Chineke God for our good luck. Good luck continue for Nigeria.
This message is brought to you courtesy Transformation Ambassadors of Nigeria. TAN for One Vision, Nigeria.
Glad to have you back on the news. The Minister of Health, Professor Onyebuchi Chukwu, has met with medical directors of tertiary health institutions on how to strategize on sustaining the present tempo in the fight against the Ebola virus disease and any other emerging or re-emerging infectious disease in Nigeria. Rashidat Mustafa Olagunju reports.
The meeting, which is interactive, is part of efforts by the ministry to build the spirit of participatory planning and mutual accountability for results in the health sector for better healthcare delivery. Professor Onyebuchi Chukwu said presently there is no single case of Ebola in Nigeria, called on the CMDs to be proactive and ensure their personnel practice the recommended universal precautionary measures.
We don't expect every hospital to have a lab for Ebola or Lassa because it's a specialized area. They don't, and it's not necessary. But the government should be able to provide these laboratories within reach, and that's what we're doing.
Most hospitals before now have hazardous facilities. We also have variously constituted infection control and prevention committees at our various hospitals that have periodically taught members of staff or what we call universal precautions.
The meeting is also expected to fashion ways of containing and maintaining zero case of infection rates while ensuring adequate surveillance. In Abuja, Rashidat Mustafa Olagunju, NTA News.
And Benin is our next stop on Nationwide as we link up with Agatha for their contributions. Agatha, you're on.
Thank you, Fine. Good evening and thanks for joining us in Benin. Edo State Governor Comrade Adams Oshomole has promised to make available 5,000 hectares of farmland to the Nigerian Institute for Oil Palm Research, NIFOR, to aid expansion of the institute. It is also to enhance the creation of over 2,000 direct and indirect jobs, especially for youths. It was during the visit of the board chairman of the institute, Senator Lee Miaba. Governor Shomole said he is willing to support any initiative that will keep the youths meaningfully engaged.
Let me also say straight away that if you have applied for additional land of 5,000, we'll be quite happy to give you, and it will give you much more than that. So the land we have revoked will enable us to provide good land to anyone, including NIFO and any youth government, so that we can fully explore the unique advantage that they do have in the area of palm oil.
The board chairman, Senator Miaba, who had requested for the additional hectares of farmland, said the project will improve the economic growth of the state.
This is a landmark collaboration from the federal government with the state government. The president and the minister of agriculture are serious about the expansion of NIFO. This institute will bring to Nigeria a diversification from over-dependence on crude oil to palm oil.
Located on the Benin-Akure Highway, NIFO is also known for the production of palm oil and palm wine. In the meantime, Governor Adams Oshiomhole has expressed confidence in the ability of organized labor to bring a change in the country. He is therefore calling on labor leaders to be proactive so as to win the confidence of the people. This was the governor's message to participants of a two-day retreat on leadership and team building organized by the Amalgamated Union of Public Corporations, Civil Service Technical and Recreational Services Employees, OPTA, in the West Zone. The report.
The retreat was declared opened by the representative of Governor Adams Oshiomhole, the Commissioner for Special Duties, Comrade Didi Adodo.
The labor movement that can speak, they will say is speaking as a Northerner or a Southerner, as a Christian or as a Muslim.
The national president of OPTA, Solomon Adelegon, assured members of the union that their rights and interests will be protected at all times.
The position of this union is to ensure our workers want to ensure job security. As far as we are concerned, that this union, Amalgamated Union, by the grace of God, we are on board and we are ready to fight the cause.
From time to time, we only educate our members, tell them issue, correct issues and other issues that they need to know, and whether on the OPTA constitution and how to manage human beings and how to negotiate.
Participants said the exercise will keep the union strong. A 1-minute silence was also observed in honor of their fallen colleagues.
And to ensure a smooth takeover of government in Ekiti State on October 16, Governor Kayode Fayemi has constituted a transition committee to cross-fertilize ideas with the committee set up by the governor-elect Ayodele Fayose. Kunle Adeyeye completes the report.
The Secretary to the State Government, Dr. Ganiyu Owolabi, who is the chairman of the committee set up by the state government, spoke on arrangements by government to ensure a successful transition to the newly elected administration. Dr. Owolabi said the committee has also been broken into subcommittees to quicken activities.
In the interest of our people, there can be no happening with government. Actions and decisions will continue to be made in the overall interest of everybody. We are the same in whether government presently or calling to government. We are the same in which fate are brought together as a people.
The governor-elect, Mr. Ayodele Fayose, is expected to be sworn in on the 16th of October this year. In Ado-Ekiti, Kunle Adeyeye, NTA News.
The Delta State Police Command now has a new commissioner of police. He is Alhaji Alkali Baba Usman. Alhaji Alkali said he's poised to consolidate on the gains of effective policing by his predecessor, Ikechukwu Aduba. Ameze Gibo Anyaru reports.
The Commissioner, Alhaji Alkali Baba Usman, said he will operate an open-door policy and synergize with all existing security apparatus to sustain the zero-tolerance crime level in the state.
We are going to see that the Delta people enjoy a crime-free environment to enable them to go about their lawful business.
The command's Deputy Commissioner, Titus Lamode, sued for cooperation to Alhaji Alkali Baba Usman to further reduce crime and criminality in Delta State and environs. CP Usman hails from Yobe State. He takes over from retired CP Ikechukwu Aduba, recently honored for his meritorious crime policing in the state by the Asaba of Asaba, Professor Chike Edozie, as part of activities marking the Iwaji New Yam Festival in Asaba. In Asaba, Ameze Igiebo Anyaru, NTA News.
That's it from Benin. Ifeanyi, you're on.
Many thanks, Agatha. The judiciary of the Federal Capital Territory has lamented that alternative dispute resolution mechanism being introduced are not being fully utilized by Nigerians. Chief Judge of the FCT High Court, Justice Ibrahim Bukar, stated this at the opening of the new legal year of the FCT. Judiciary correspondent Femi Okeowo reports.
There has been the clamor over the years that Nigerian courts are overloaded with litigations. In response to this, and in line with trends across the world, various alternative dispute resolution processes were introduced in jurisdictions across Nigeria, particularly in Lagos and the FCT. In Abuja, it is called the Multi-Door Court. But given a rundown of its activities in 2013 and 2014 legal year, Chief Judge of the FCT High Court said from figures recorded in the year, it would seem that Nigerians still believe more in litigations than in alternative means of resolving disputes. Of the 26,575 cases recorded in the FCT judiciary in 2013-2014, only 60 passed through the multi-door court.
This is a clear indication that the department is underutilized. Alternative dispute resolution, referred to as ADR, is a supplement to formal litigation process, is fast becoming a worldwide norm due to its many positive sides.
The Attorney General of the Federation and the body of senior advocates of Nigeria who practice in Abuja were among those who sent messages of goodwill to the commencement of the FCT new legal year, with the FCT minister promising that more conscious efforts will be made to ensure that policies are captured by legislation to avoid a repeat of the pack and pay problem of 2013. The FCT's position as the federal capital puts on it an added responsibility of leading even in judicial matters, which is why the various calls have been made for the FCT High Court to lead even in alternative dispute resolution matters. From the FCT High Court, Femi Okeowo, NTA News.
Vehicular emission testing centers are to be set up soon in Abuja and later in other parts of the country as a measure to control toxic gas generated by vehicles in the nation's road transport system. Director General of the National Environmental Standards and Regulations Enforcement Agency, NESRIA, Ngeri Benebo, said this at a stakeholders meeting on the operational guidelines for the implementation of the program in Abuja. Mia Ogidi reports.
World Health Organization report reveals that in 2012, about 7 million people died as a result of exposure to air pollution. Nigeria was not excluded from these alarming statistics, as the country has over 10 million vehicles and 3 million motorcycles. The carbon monoxide, hydrocarbon and the nitrogen oxide emitted from these automobiles no doubt impacts negatively on the ozone layer and causes skin cancer, cataract, asthma and other respiratory diseases. In order to reduce this, NESRA has provided the needed equipment to carry out daily tests on vehicles to know their roadworthiness in collaboration with security agencies.
The Vehicle Emission Control Program is designed to identify vehicles that need to be repaired such that their level of toxic emissions are reduced and the emissions are brought to an acceptable pollution control standards.
For now, the exercise will be carried out in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, as a test run, while the Minister of Environment is expected to flag it off formally to take effect nationwide. In Abuja, Mia Ogidi, NTA News.
For more on news nationwide, let's now join our Port Harcourt Network Center. It's over to you, Daoju.
Thank you, Ifeanyi. Good evening and welcome to Port Harcourt. Rivers State Governor Chibuike Amechi says the state will conduct a fresh local government election after the 2015 general elections. The governor stated this at the swearing-in of Caretaker Committee Chairman, the 21 local government areas at the Government House, Port Harcourt. Correspondent Emmanuel Lene reports that 7 of the 21 caretaker chairmen were returned, while the tenure of 2 others are still running. His report.
Mbakbone Okpe Tai, Dr. Lawrence Chiku Obiakpo,
God's Time Oluku Emoha, Adoye Tapa Williams, Boni, Imeka Wogo, Omoma, Michael Igolima, Opobonkoro, and David Onyengorom, Oyigbo. Governor Mechi, who congratulated them on their new assignment, tasked them to perform and utilize council funds judiciously. He pointed out that he will not fail to sack those found wanting and breach their oath of office. He decried the level of lawlessness in the country, stressing that the future of the country is in jeopardy if urgent steps are not taken.
I believe that you've been chosen, and please serve the people. Please serve the people. Because if you don't serve them, on our side, we will punish you.
Some of the caretaker chairmen promised to serve the people as well as run a transparent administration. The caretaker chairman has to serve for a period of 3 months. In Port Harcourt, Emmanuel Lene, NTA News.
Members of the Rivers State House of Assembly Committee on Health, led by Irene Iningba, have visited the Rivers State Center for the Control of Infectious Diseases at Oduoha in Emoha local government area to ensure that things are done right. Correspondent Dibabari Sedoma reports.
At the center, Dr. Bonaz Hari, who is in charge of the center, noted that the center is well equipped to handle cases of Ebola in the state, adding that the center is divided into 3 segments.
We will evolve to be able to contain other possible epidemics that might come, And as we are going on, we are doing quality control, assessment control, and those things that are not in place, we are trying to put them in place. But so far, as you can see, we are ready. Should Ebola re-emerges again,
there is no panic. It's under control. Government is doing everything to see that life is very important.
Chairman House Committee on Health, Irene Nimba, said the committee is satisfied with what they have seen on ground, but called on health workers to ensure they carry out thorough tests on the affected patients.
We are so happy for what we have seen.
The commitment they have shown us today, the quality we have gone through just to get inside, being disinfected, the process they have used in managing the place is well commendable. I want to encourage them to carry out this service for Rivers people.
The quarantine center is designed by the state government to control the spread of the Ebola virus in the state. From Oduoha, in Emoha local government area, Dibabari Sedoma, NTA News.
The new Commissioner of Police, Bayelsa State Command, Mr. Valentine Uzo Tomchukwu, has assumed duty with a resolve to give priority to intelligence and community policing. Correspondent Silva Technique has the details.
The new Commissioner of Police Bayelsa State Command, Mr. Valentine Uzo Ntomchukwu, while rolling out his strategic plans to give effective and professional policing to citizens of the state, among other things, said attention will be channeled to community policing, which he said is the thrust of the Inspector General of Police to ensure effective coverage of every part of the state, especially during the forthcoming general elections.
We are going to concentrate on riverine policing and ensure that the aquatic nature does not hinder policing.
Mr. Valentine Ntomchukwu also stated that he intends to build on the already established synergy with other security agencies in fighting crime, both on land and waterways, as well as oil theft common in the Niger Delta area.
I call on every one of you to support my administration, and that my administration is going to be professional, going to police the state without any form of favoritism.
The new Commissioner of Police, on arrival, inspected a guard of honor mounted by the Bayelsa State Police Command. This was followed by introducing him to the management team of the command. Mr. Valentine Ntomchukwu, until his recent appointment as CP Bayelsa State, has served in other capacities such as Deputy CP Benue, Kogi, FCT and Kaduna State, also as area commander in Lagos State, among others. In Yenagoa, Silva Technical, NTA News.
And that's our contribution from Port Harcourt. It's back to Ifeanyi for continuation of Nationwide. Good evening.
Many thanks, Dauju. The 115 Muslim pilgrims from Kogi State have commenced Hajj operations at the Holy Mosque of Kaaba in Mecca with special prayers for sustainable peace in Nigeria. Ndamadu Sule reports that the State Amirul Hajj, Ambassador Usman Bello, advised the pilgrims to adhere strictly to Saudi Arabian rules and regulations. Ebola vaccine trial begins in the United Kingdom and Iran nuclear talks set to resume. These and more on Global Tidbits with Talatu Ezirike.
Potential vaccine against the Ebola virus is underway in Oxford and, if successful, could be used to immunize health workers in Africa. Reports say that people in Scotland have voted on whether they want the country to stay in the United Kingdom or become an independent nation. The result is expected on Friday, but the question on many lips is if there will be a Queen of Scots if the referendum favors Scotland. On Iran, world powers are set to resume talks in New York with Iran, but diplomats say there might not be a breakthrough on Iran's disputed nuclear program. Similarly, Ukraine president is in the United States to seek further support to tackle what he describes as Russian aggression. And India and China signed a 12th agreement, one of which will see China investing $20 million in India's infrastructure over 5 years. That is all on Global Tidbits. Talati Ezirike, NTA News.
In our sports package, Super Eagles of Nigeria dropped 4 places to 37th in latest FIFA ranking. Plus, Sprint Queen Blessing Okagbari receives a car gift in Abuja. Let's join Fisayo Ogunfuyi for these and more.
Director General of the National Sports Commission, Gbenga Elegbeleye, says the commission will continue to support Nigerian athletes in their quest to bring honor to the nation. Elegbeleye disclosed this in Abuja Thursday while appreciating a board member of the Athletics Federation of Nigeria, Ibrahim Shehu Gusso, who redeemed his pledge of a car gift to Sprint Queen Blessing Okagbare for winning gold medals at the recently concluded Commonwealth Games in Glasgow, Scotland.
Philanthropy is to think of what to do to support National Sports Commission and our athletes so that it won't be only government spending all the money to promote sports.
I promised, which was motivational, that if Blessing wins a gold in the 100 meters, I promise her a new car.
Okagbare, who led Nigeria's impressive showing in Glasgow with a double sprint gold, says support of the NSC and other sports-loving Nigerians is what has kept her going in her career.
I feel great, extremely excited, and amazing for when people honor you and appreciate what you do. So it's a blessing.
World Cup winners Germany remain the world's #1 team in the latest FIFA ranking. Fellow finalists Argentina also remain in the second spot, while South Americans Colombia leapfrogged Netherlands to go third. Others in the first 10 include Belgium, Brazil, Uruguay, Spain, France and Switzerland. Portugal, Chile, Italy and Greece are in the top 20, which also includes Algeria, which is Africa's highest-ranked team, coming in the 20th position. Côte d'Ivoire remains Africa's second-best team. The Super Eagles of Nigeria, after a home loss and an away draw in the AFCON qualifiers, come in at number 37, dropping 4 places from last month. With Sports News Update, Fisayo Ogunfuyi, NTA News.
And with that, we conclude NTA Nationwide News. There will be more reports at 7 and network news at 9. Thank you for watching.
It's up to us, all of us. The safety of our communities is in our hands. The police need our help and support. Boko Haram threatens our lives, our future, our country. But Nigeria belongs to us. God has blessed us with this rich land.